everyone, and welcome back to the Young and the Restless channel. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe and hit like for more daily drama updates and spoilers. Your support truly means a lot and helps our channel grow every day. Now, let's jump straight into today's exciting update. The Young and the Restless is preparing to deliver another unforgettable week of emotional confrontations, dangerous alliances, and family loyalties pushed to their breaking point as the drama unfolds from July 13th through July 17th. In the aftermath of Patty Williams' shocking attack, the residents of Genoa City find themselves struggling to recover from wounds that run far deeper than any physical injury. Old rivalries begin to reignite, buried resentments rise back to the surface, and long-standing relationships face powerful tests that could reshape the future forever. While some characters desperately search for healing and forgiveness, others become consumed by revenge, convinced that justice can only be found by striking back at those they believe are responsible. As one emotional chapter closes, another far more dangerous one begins, setting the stage for a week where every decision carries enormous consequences. Inside the quiet walls of the hospital, Jack Abbott finds himself surrounded by a silence that offers little comfort after the terrifying ordeal he has endured. The physical pain slowly fades into the background as his thoughts drift toward memories of his beloved father, John Abbott, whose wisdom and strength continue to guide him even after all these years. Those cherished memories become a source of comfort, reminding Jack of the values that built the Abbott family and the resilience that has carried him through countless storms. At the same time, he desperately tries to push the chaos surrounding Patty Williams out of his mind, hoping that focusing on happier moments will help him regain his emotional balance. Yet no matter how hard he tries, the violence that shattered his sense of security continues to linger in the back of his mind, casting a shadow over every quiet moment. The attack has left scars that cannot be erased overnight, and Jack knows his road to recovery will require far more than simply healing his physical wounds. Elsewhere, Kyle Abbott finds himself unable to move forward, his anger growing stronger with every passing hour. In his eyes, there is only one person truly responsible for the nightmare that has unfolded, and that person is Victor Newman. Kyle becomes convinced that Victor's actions ultimately unleashed Patty upon Genoa City once again, creating a chain of events that nearly ended in tragedy. The more he thinks about everything that has happened, the more determined he becomes to make Victor answer for the devastation he believes he has caused. His frustration only deepens when Billy Abbott refuses to help him pursue a dangerous revenge campaign. Billy understands the temptation to retaliate, but he also recognizes the enormous risks that come with trying to wage war against someone as powerful as Victor Newman. Despite Billy's refusal to join him, Kyle refuses to abandon his mission, making a solemn promise to himself that he will find another path forward, no matter how impossible it may seem. In Kyle's mind, there has to be a way to finally bring about Victor's downfall, and he becomes increasingly convinced that he simply hasn't discovered the right strategy yet. That determination eventually leads Kyle somewhere few would ever dare to go. He pays a visit to Patty Williams while she remains locked away, entering the meeting with a plan already forming inside his head. Rather than approaching Patty with sympathy or curiosity, Kyle drives a hard bargain, carefully testing whether she might become a useful piece in his growing campaign against Victor. It is an astonishingly dangerous gamble, one that could easily spiral beyond anyone's control if Patty chooses to play by her own unpredictable rules. Even so, Kyle believes desperate situations demand desperate measures, and he appears willing to embrace risks that others would immediately reject. The possibility of drawing Patty into his revenge plot creates an unsettling sense of uncertainty because no one can ever truly predict what Patty will do next. Every word exchange between them carries the potential to ignite an even larger disaster, leaving viewers wondering whether Kyle is making the biggest mistake of his life. While whispers of Kyle's growing revenge scheme eventually reach Victor Newman, the legendary businessman remains remarkably calm. Unlike those around him who see danger approaching, Victor dismisses Kyle as little more than an emotional young man acting out of frustration. He refuses to believe Kyle possesses either the experience or the influence necessary to threaten everything he has built. To Victor, Kyle represents little more than a temporary nuisance, someone whose anger will eventually burn itself out without causing any lasting damage. Yet Kyle has no intention of proving Victor correct. Instead, Victor's confidence only strengthens Kyle's determination, fueling his desire to demonstrate that he should never have been underestimated. As both men continue moving toward an inevitable collision, the tension between the Abbott and Newman families grows steadily stronger, suggesting that another explosive confrontation may be waiting just around the corner. Meanwhile, another conflict begins brewing on the business front as Sally Spectra senses danger closing in around Audra Charles. From her perspective, it appears that Adam Newman and Chelsea Lawson are preparing to launch a calculated attack against her company, and she wastes little time expressing her outrage. Sally's emotions flare as she lashes out, believing that the people around her are once again again trying to undermine everything she has worked so hard to build. However, the truth is far more complicated than she realizes. The real driving force behind the threat is Victor Newman, whose sights remain firmly set on reclaiming Newman Media by targeting Sally's business interests. Rather than immediately following Victor's wishes, Adam proposes an entirely different path. He asks his father to give him 6 months to carry out a carefully designed plan alongside Chelsea, believing they can achieve the desired results without Victor resorting to more aggressive tactics. It becomes a crucial turning point, placing Adam in the difficult position of convincing Victor to trust his judgment instead of relying solely on ruthless power. Victor eventually reaches his decision, but true to form, he refuses to negotiate from a position of weakness. He presents Adam and Chelsea with an offer while making one thing perfectly clear. This is the only proposal they will receive. There will be no endless discussions, no second chances, and no opportunity to bargain for better terms. Victor expects complete commitment, and he expects it immediately. His unwavering confidence once again reminds everyone why he remains one of the most intimidating figures in Genoa City. Adam and Chelsea now face enormous pressure as they weigh whether accepting Victor's conditions is worth the sacrifices that may follow. The future of their ambitious plan hangs delicately in the balance, with every choice threatening to reshape both their personal lives and their professional futures. Back at the hospital, emotional reunions begin to unfold as news of Jack's stabbing spreads throughout Genoa City. The moment Nikki Newman learns what Patty has done, she cannot ignore the overwhelming concern she still feels for Jack despite everything life has thrown between them. Determined to see him with her own eyes, Nikki immediately heads to the hospital. Victoria Newman accompanies her, guiding her mother to Jack's bedside where emotions quickly take over. Nikki asks question after question, desperately wanting reassurance that Jack will recover and hoping to ease the fear that has settled heavily on her heart. Their heartfelt conversation reflects years of shared history, reminding everyone that some emotional bonds never completely disappear no matter how much time passes. Before long, Diane Jenkins Abbott arrives alongside Kyle, and the atmosphere inside the hospital room grows noticeably more tense. Both Diane and Kyle continue placing the blame for Patty's destructive return squarely on Victor Newman, convinced that his decisions set this entire tragedy into motion. Their frustration creates an uncomfortable emotional divide, especially as Nikki quietly wrestles with many of the very same thoughts. Deep inside, she may also find herself pointing toward Victor as the catalyst behind the recent chaos, leaving Victor with the painful realization that Nikki's loyalty may always carry a special place for Jack. It becomes an emotionally complicated moment for everyone involved, exposing old wounds that never completely healed beneath the surface. Yet despite the hurt feelings and lingering resentment, the powerful love Victor and Nikki share proves difficult to break. As the week gradually draws to a close, they find themselves choosing forgiveness over division, embracing the possibility of a meaningful new beginning together rather than allowing the latest crisis to destroy everything they have built. Not every storyline centers on conflict, however, as another family quietly pauses to honor someone whose absence is still deeply felt. 1 year has passed since the heartbreaking death of Cole Howard, yet the pain of losing him remains as real as ever for those who loved him. Victoria Newman and Claire Newman carry his memory close to their hearts, refusing to let the anniversary pass without recognizing the impact he had on their lives. Together, they discover a meaningful and deeply personal way to celebrate his life, creating a touching tribute that reminds them love never truly disappears with time. Though grief continues to linger, their shared remembrance offers comfort instead of despair, proving that even the deepest losses can eventually become cherished memories that strengthen the bonds between family members. Elsewhere in Genoa City, trouble begins brewing once again inside the Shadow Room when Matt Clark makes another appearance. His return immediately sparks fresh conflict, and it doesn't take long before Noah Newman completely loses his patience during their latest confrontation. Emotions run dangerously high as Noah struggles to contain his anger, convinced that Matt's presence can only bring more trouble. The already tense situation becomes even more complicated when Sienna Bacall steps in, seemingly taking on the role of peacemaker. If she chooses to give Matt even the slightest benefit of the doubt or offers him unexpected understanding, Noah could be left stunned and deeply disappointed. Such a decision would expose growing cracks in Noah and Sienna's relationship, revealing just how differently they view the people around them. As the week comes to an emotional close, their romance faces uncertain days ahead, with unresolved disagreements threatening to evolve into something far more serious. The Young and the Restless leaves viewers with the unmistakable feeling that heartbreak, unexpected twists, and dramatic confrontations are only beginning, promising that the coming days in Genoa City will be filled with emotional surprises that no one will see coming.